The best strikers of the ball can apply forward spin to the ball, and that makes them very effective, and that affects the conversion rate. If you can add 6, 7, 8 goals just from free kicks into your tally during the season, that can make a difference between winning or losing the championship.
So for the first time ever, as far as we're aware, we've been able to look at this forward spin technique in quite minute detail. So using the cluster arrangements to look at specific angles, to really try and get underneath what is happening in this most potent of free kicks.
One of the most important features of a forward spin strike is that the trajectory of the ball is bent, and by bent I mean the ball goes over the wall and down, it dips, which gives the player the comfort of being able to hit their target from the short range with power, and we've seen that today with the players tested.
Taken 45 free kicks, 2 different distances, and had all the straps on my legs and the sensors, and it was really lightweight, so I didn't feel that it restricted my movement in any way.
Over the last couple of years we've been developing this system, Code of Sport, to be able to track movements out of doors in bright sunlight. We've retained the ease of use of the standard system, so it's quick to set up and very portable in order to be able to move to new locations and set up quickly.
A player who cannot put forward spin on the ball, put side spin on the ball, relies on the gravity to bring the ball down. The player who can apply forward spin can increase the power, go over the wall comfortably, and the difference we've seen today was between, for example, about 70 kilometers per hour for a player with side spin and 100 kilometers per hour for a player with forward spin, and that is a very significant difference. I do think that the impact of this technical ability can be potentially very, very big.
I'm quite looking forward to seeing the results.
I'm very excited to see, so that I can analyse it afterwards.
Really excited about looking at the data when we get back home. Yeah, this potentially could be something that's really going to make waves in the football fraternity.
Donc, bienvenue au Technosport qui aujourd'hui accueille une équipe de basketball professionnel de Nancy, le SLUC Nancy. Donc, il s'agit d'un projet de recherche financé par l'Université d'Aix-Marseille dans le cadre de la réalisation d'un projet de recherche interdisciplinaire qui s'intitule Intermove. L'objectif de ce projet de recherche est de réaliser une étude interdisciplinaire des déterminants de l'expertise sportive. Il s'agit plus précisément de comprendre de quelle manière un joueur de basketball professionnel s'y prend pour shooter avec réussite dans le cadre du lancer franc au basketball. Donc ce projet de recherche implique l'Institut des sciences du mouvement, qui est un laboratoire de recherche qui dépend à la fois du CNRS, Centre national de recherche scientifique, et d'Aix-Marseille Université. Donc 4 équipes distinctes de cet institut de recherche, de l'ISM, participent, contribuent à Intermove. Chaque équipe de recherche apportant sa valence disciplinaire, la physiologie, la biomécanique, les neurosciences et la psychologie sociale. Donc plus précisément, il s'agit de comprendre de quelle manière la fatigue, le stress ou le contexte informationnel impactent la performance du shooter expert. Une première opération de recherche est destinée à évaluer l'influence de la fatigue sur la précision au shoot. Il s'agit par exemple de demander à des shooters d'exécuter des shoots avant et après un protocole de fatigue parfaitement contrôlé expérimentalement, de manière à déterminer de quelle manière la fatigue détériore la performance. Dans le cadre d'une deuxième opération de recherche, nous nous intéressons à l'influence du contexte, et plus précisément du stress sur le mouvement du shoot. Il s'agit de la même manière de comparer la performance produite avant et après un protocole de stress, de manière à déterminer avec précision de quelle manière le contexte psychologique, le stress, affecte la précision lors du shoot. Et enfin, dans une troisième expérience, nous essayons de déterminer assez précisément, le plus précisément possible, quelles sont les informations visuelles qui sont prises en compte par le shooter lors de l'exécution du shoot. Et pour ce faire, nous utilisons un dispositif de réalité virtuelle qui nous permet de manipuler aisément, à loisir, le support informationnel disponible pendant la production du shoot.
Dexterity, the ability we have in manipulating objects with precision, is essential in our everyday life. It is also a direct expression of our creativity, and it shows how our brain matures and evolves with time.
Well, dexterity implies manipulation, and manipulation of objects is occurring against gravity. Gravity is acting on the object all the time and has to be taken in account in the modulations of force that you are exerting on the object. But this kind of coordination is not innate, it's learned. And children are learning this process during the 1st year of their life.
For 10 years now, a scientific team led by Jean-Louis Tonnard and Philippe Lefebvre of the Université Catholique de Louvain and by Joe McIntyre of the French Centre National de Recherche Scientifique are studying the mechanisms involved in dexterous manipulation. When holding an object between two fingers, the grip force creates a friction with a resulting force called the load force, which compensates the weight of the object and prevents it from falling. If we loosen the grip force decreases, and as weight remains constant, the object falls. When manipulating an object, the acceleration we give to it modulates the load force, and the grip force varies synchronously to the load force. This allows holding the object optimally, whichever movement is accomplished.
What is really amazing is that the brain can anticipate, and this anticipation is learned. And so our research opened, in fact, the door to, I would say, a large domain of research in the field of how the brain is learning new process, how the brain is learning to control movement in new environment.
And what better challenging situation for the brain than putting the body in a zero-gravity environment? To study this, the team of Jean-Louis Tonnard and Philippe Lefebvre have put together a vast study program. After 6 theses, dozens of scientific publications, and 20 parabolic flight campaigns, the experiments scheduled on the International Space Station represent the culmination of a solid scientific expertise. The setup of the experiment is designed to study the dynamics of prehension, that is, all forces acting on the moving object. These forces are measured with an instrumented device called the manipulendum. It carries a wide range of sensors like accelerometers, gyroscopes, force-torque sensors, and moisture sensors. The setup also allows to capture kinematics of movement in 3 dimensions by using CODA camera sensors recording the trajectories of the LEDs embedded in the manipulendum. The GRIB experiment is replicated in 3 identical sessions on Earth, ensuring that the brain has fully integrated the task before launch. Then, the experiment is replicated 3 times on board the International Space Station, allowing a complete follow-up of the learning in microgravity. A reduced session is organized the day after return to ground, followed by 3 replicates of the full session in the following months.
In microgravity, the weight of the objects is equal to 0. And in fact, the relationship between the kinematics of the upper limbs and the dynamics of the manipulation, the precision grip, is perturbed. And so the question is, how long will it take to the brain to learn these new environments? How long will it take to the brain to relate again the inertia, the accelerations of the upper limb to the dynamics of the precision grip, of the forces exerted on the object during manipulation. And this is what we want to study.
The GRIB experiment has recently been commissioned on the International Space Station by astronaut Thomas Pesquet. It will provide data that will be useful in understanding tactile sensation, a key element in developing new haptic controls for astronauts. Another application is in healthcare, particularly in cases of patients with cerebrovascular trauma. The revalidation notably involves area of the brain linked to dexterity learning.
We're here today at the Wimbledon qualifiers and we're here with CODA Motion. What we're doing today is working with the LTA to really get an in-depth model of the spine during the service action. The LTA identified to us that injuries in the lower back have become quite prevalent in their junior players. So what we want to do is try and identify whether any aspects of their technique in the serve that could contribute to this injury. So being at the Wimbledon qualifiers, we've got this great opportunity to analyse some of the top players in the world and identify a blueprint of the service technique to then later compare to the junior guys that are coming through the setups.
We got a model of the players composed of 26 active markers. With this model we are able to have a complete 3D model of the players. With all of this 3D data we are then allowed to look at the rotation of the spine, but also the extension and hyperextension during the serve.
Trying to find solutions to injury prevention through understanding the biomechanics of the serve in tennis is really key. The reason for that is the large sort of accelerations that are required at the racket head in modern tennis make players potentially prone to injury through faulty biomechanics. So us getting a better understanding of what the spine and other key areas of the body are doing in the tennis serve is really important, and trying to find ways of identifying players that are potentially prone to injury and how we could correct some of those faulty biomechanics is a big objective for the work that we do, so the information will be really useful from this study.
It's good to find out really what's going on in my body on the serve, so it should be good to get the results back, and it was a good experience. It was good for me to find out, and good for my coaches, and hopefully it's good information for you to keep working on.
You know, I've been doing a lot of work on my serve recently, and obviously I'm not sure if there's much technology much more accurate than this, so like I say, it'll be interesting to see what comes up.
So as far as we are aware, this is the first time the spine has been analysed in such detail, and we're really excited to be able to discern these results and go on to help prevent injuries in the junior players going forward.